why I just never could have anticipated something like that happening.
No.
Michael is the coolest. Obviously, a character like Beetlejuice is so iconic and so loved, and Lydia is the coolest character on the planet. Just everything about it.
If there's one actress who really shows why you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet, it's Jenna Ortega. And honestly, that's especially true when it comes to anything related to her dating life. People seem fascinated by who she might be seeing, but the thing is, Jenna has become a pro at keeping those details locked away. She's never been one to overshare, and because of that, fans are left guessing and gossiping. The mystery almost fuels the conversation since without her giving a clear yes or no, the internet just fills in the blanks with speculation. So naturally, a bunch of names have been tossed around over the years. Every time she's spotted with someone or even just posts a photo, rumors start swirling. That's the kind of attention she gets because she's in the spotlight, but it also shows how much fans want to know what's happening in her personal life. What's interesting though is that Jenna herself has admitted multiple times that she's not really focused on dating right now. She's so wrapped up in her work, and she's even said that the whole idea of being that vulnerable with someone kind of stresses her out. Take 2023 for example. In March, the internet exploded with a rumor that Jenna had gone on a dinner date with Devon Booker, who by the way is Kendall Jenner's ex. People were quick to believe it because there was even a photo floating around that seemed to show them together. For a second, it looked convincing enough to start trending, but fans eventually figured out that the image wasn't real at all. Someone had stitched it together, and although it wasn't true, that didn't stop people from wondering if maybe there was some truth behind it. That's the power of speculation. It doesn't really need proof, just curiosity. Another big rumor came when Jenna was working on Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall with Percy Hines White. Because they were co-stars and seemed close, a lot of people assumed something romantic was going on between them. But in true Jenna fashion, neither she nor Percy ever addressed it. No confirmation, no denial, nothing. And honestly, that might be the smartest move. Sometimes keeping silent is better than feeding the rumor mill because once you respond, it can spiral even more. The funny part is, Jenna has been pretty clear about where she stands on dating right now. In an interview with Elle in April 2023, she said she doesn't like the idea of being goo-goo gaga over a boy. She talked about how so many female characters are written in ways that revolve around guys, like their emotions or their storylines are tied to a male character, and she doesn't want her real life to mirror that pattern. She even admitted that relationships stress her out. For her, being that vulnerable, letting someone get to know her on such a deep level and exposing all parts of herself just isn't something she feels ready for. Instead, she's focused on her career and everything she's building for herself, which makes sense because she's one of the busiest actresses in Hollywood right now. Now, if we rewind a bit, there's been a whole string of names linked to Jenna in the past. Let's start with Jacob Sartorius. Back in October 2017, Jenna appeared in his music video for Chapstick, and that sparked rumors they were more than just co-stars. Fans immediately wondered if something romantic was happening between them, especially because of the chemistry they had on screen. Jacob didn't help calm those rumors either. He told J14 magazine that Jenna was really nice and that they had good chemistry both on and off camera. That one sentence was enough to fan the flames, even though they never actually confirmed they were dating. Looking back, it seems like they were just good friends, but it's another example of how easy it is for people to connect the dots when maybe there aren't any dots to connect. Then there was Asher Angel. In October 2018, Jenna and Asher were spotted at the premiere of Venom together. To fans, going to an event like that side by side was a big deal, but what really got people talking was when they showed up to Just Jared's 17th annual Halloween party, dressed as Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson, who were a couple at that time. That costume choice almost felt like a wink to fans, as if they were dropping hints. Still, Jenna never confirmed a relationship with Asher. The closest she came was during an appearance on Dak Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, where she mentioned having been in a long-term relationship for a couple of years. She said it ended because life got too hectic and she just couldn't juggle everything. She made it clear it wasn't about the other person, it was more about her schedule and how overwhelming things had become. A lot of people took that as her indirectly talking about Asher, although she never used his name. Another name that pops up a lot is Isaac Presley, Jenna's co-star from Stuck in the Middle. Fans speculated they had an on-again, off-again relationship, but like the other rumors, nothing was ever confirmed. They spend a lot of time together, which probably fueled the chatter, but that's the thing about working closely with someone. It doesn't always mean there's romance involved, even though people love to assume otherwise. Now, one of the wildest rumors that ever made the rounds was about Johnny Depp. This one really took off because of Jenna's connection to Winona Ryder on the set of Beetlejuice. People started calling Jenna the new Winona, mostly because of her goth aesthetic and her role in Wednesday, which felt similar to Winona's iconic Lydia Deetz. Because Winona famously dated Johnny Depp back in the day, some gossip outlets randomly decided to link Jenna to him. She later called it the craziest rumor she's ever heard and even laughed about it, saying, "I don't know that person." It just shows how far people will stretch things to create a headline. So when people ask who is Jenna Ortega dating, the simplest answer is probably no one, at least not right now. If she is seeing someone, she's definitely keeping it under wraps, and she has every right to do so. Her private life is her own, and based on everything she said, it's not really her priority. Acting is clearly her main focus, and considering how much success she's had in such a short time, that focus seems to be paying off. Outside of dating rumors, fans also love to dive into other details about Jenna, like her zodiac sign. She's a Libra, which is represented by the scales. Libras are known for their balance and their ability to see both sides of a situation. That might actually explain why she's so good at keeping her personal life private. She knows how to strike that balance between giving fans enough to keep them interested while also protecting her own boundaries. It's part of what makes her so intriguing. She's relatable and accessible in some ways, but also mysterious in others. When you put all of this together, the rumors, the speculation, the rare comments she does make, it paints a picture of someone who values her independence. Jenna Ortega isn't out there chasing relationships or trying to build her identity around who she's dating. Instead, she's building her career, carefully choosing projects, and proving herself as one of the most versatile young actresses working today. And even though fans will probably always be curious about her love life, she seems determined to make sure that curiosity doesn't overshadow her work. In a way, that's what makes her stand out, because in Hollywood, where so many people's personal lives become part of their public image, Jenna has managed to separate the two. It's not easy, especially with the internet constantly speculating, but she's doing it. Maybe someday she'll decide to share more, but for now, she's keeping her cards close to her chest. And that decision only adds to the mystery that fans can't seem to get enough of. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.